Well, hi there. It's the 16th of May. It is journal number 50. I guess that's a milestone, a real milestone. And T transplant plus 44. I'm not sure if I've ever started a blog post with a progress report, but I did manage to find that lost video. I'm not sure how many hours it took. If you translated those hours into dollars when I was working, that would have been a lot of money. However, the good news is that I did find it and I figured out how to get it back on YouTube, albeit not functioning identically to the rest of the blogs, but I think you can still pull it out, or at least you were able to, and my experiment uh, was successful. So T49, journal 49 is there, T43. The comments are a little strange because, as I said in the description, once you write something, generally it's hard to duplicate what it was you wrote because your mind says, I'm done with that. I finished. I don't need to remember that anymore. In any case, it's there. And a number of the things that I talked about in that particular journal entry were, came to fruition this morning. We were talking about conflicting appointments, and Leslie went to the spinal surgeon out here in Arcadia, a really excellent orthopedic group. That really, helped her make the decision to go ahead and have the epidural done. Unfortunately, if we had the time and if we were home and if things were under more or less normal conditions, then she would probably have gone to physical therapy. The doctor said he probably would have prescribed very directed, very targeted physical therapy, and that, in 3 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 7 weeks, she'd be good as new again. And it turned out, interestingly enough, it wasn't what she thought it was. It wasn't the identical thing that happened before. It was a different disc. It was the same thing, different disc, I guess, same day, whatever. And it looks like she's going to have an epidural next week. Well, today is one of my clinic days, and I go in for labs first thing in the morning. And as I mentioned in Journal 49, I was really feeling kind of punk because I had no energy, and I was positive that my hemoglobin had dropped precipitously low, and mostly because I was sucking wind when I was walking across the parking lot. I had no energy at all. Finally had to sit down on a bench before continuing. So we got to this morning, and we got all of our blood work done, and it turned out that I was almost like exactly right. I figured I was in the mid sevens by the way I felt, because I've been in the mid sevens before. And you have to recognize that 7.5 for a normal male adult is literally about half of what it should be at the low end. A male adult should be at 13.7 at the minimum, and 7.5 just doesn't give you enough oxygenation to think clearly or to move or to exercise. And all of those things were apparent. So I went from being dropped off at the clinic early by Leslie, who went on to her appointment, to spending almost the rest of the day there. We didn't actually leave City of Hope until about 3:30. It takes about an hour and a half or more for the transfusion to take place. And then Brett Modesti, who is on a number of committees here at the City of Hope. Brett is as you'll recall, is the gentleman who introduced my situation to his group, Team in Training, which works very closely with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, for blood and platelet donations. Those donations, the need for those donations is real, and it's ongoing, as evidenced by the fact that I went in today to get that transfusion. What we did find out is that because of the GI tract problems that I've been having since the transplant and before, um, I had a referral to a GI doctor at the City of Hope who's going to bring me in for a procedure. I love that. I love that word because it's ongoing. It encompasses so much. What kind of a procedure you're going to have? Well, I'm going to have a flex sigmoid. So they're going to knock me out and they're going to go probing around. And the thing is, what they need is a tissue sample so that they can identify whether or not there's some kind of an odd infection going on throughout my GI tract, or this is an evidence of graft versus host disease. The antibodies in my body, my natural antibodies, recognizing that they have an uninvited guest trying to establish itself in my body, and doing whatever it can to thwart that. I was very, very lucky today, I thought, because the nurse that I had for the transfusion went to great trouble to explain to me that a little bit of graft versus host disease is a good thing. And by a little, she means a little. She didn't know exactly what the cut point was, but I'm going to ask on Monday to be sure. Was a good thing because it shows that your body is working normally, that your body is doing what it's supposed to do. The difficult part is balancing the anti-rejection drugs so that it doesn't get too far away, that the GBH doesn't become dangerous, and that it's confined. At the least, it's confined to the area in which you found it. So that's that was a lot of today's effort. That in searching and trying to fix the YouTube issue. So if you'll pardon me, I have a little bit of a rant about something that we're going to discuss at much greater length another time. Our friend Janice, our friends Janice and Mickey, one of Leslie's oldest friends, has coined an expression that's sort of taken hold with the four of us at least, and perhaps more, in which she calls it modern life. Modern life is modern life is that law of physics that says the buttered side of the bread is going to fall face down onto the carpet or onto the floor. It is having a problem with the program and not being able to find the appropriate help online, never being able to find a human being. It's the reality that if your washing machine dies and your washing machine and dryer are in a space inside your home, as our other closest friends is, and you need to replace it, you can't buy a new one that's the same size because they don't make it anymore. You can't buy one that's larger because you have to remodel a house, so you have to get one that's smaller. And then you find out that buying a smaller washer and dryer, just like buying a smaller microwave or a smaller anything else, is more expensive than buying the full-sized unit that won't fit where it's supposed to. So that's modern life, and I'm gonna devote a whole blog to that at some point because there's an awful lot of that. I don't see a lot of it at City of Hope because the place is run with military precision. Every once in a while there's a screw up, but it's mitigated almost instantly. So until we meet again, you don't know how happy I am to find that Journal 49, and I'll be posting that probably with this as we get done. So stay well, take care, have a great life, be kind to one another, as Ellen DeGeneres says. There's great wisdom in that, and be kind to yourself while you're at it. I think we all tend to really work hard at beating ourselves up about things that we really shouldn't be that concerned about. Goes back to that issue of anxiety and fear and why and where it appears. So stay well, take care. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.